jump out in action with a peak state, right? By connecting to the right frequencies. A lot of times people use music. A lot of time people talk, talk about certain, whether it's a frequency, music. We talk about healing through music as well. But what is it all about, right? So I'm going to connect all this together. And the interesting part towards the end, right? The artsy part in the front and the science part towards the end to form the entire framework, which is the blueprint. The tools are very, very simple tools you need to curate a blueprint. Okay? And finally, most importantly, everyone has a goal, excitement, right? And we start, but more than often, people do not continue and complete even a small project, right? So how do we pace towards success and to have some strategies to stay on track, to keep the momentum, right? So this is what you will be receiving. There are slides in my PowerPoint, and towards the end, there are worksheets as well. And that worksheet will definitely help you when you go back home, right? Try to reiterate this and fill it up and all, right? But before we begin, let's set the tone right and be excited, right? This is what I need from you. Some of the things we might have heard before, we might hear before, but most importantly, I need everyone in this room to keep an open mind, right? Before, right, try to look at things differently. Perspective is extremely important. Secondly, I'll be asking multiple questions. Sometimes it's to you and to your buddy, right? And when you share, please be honest, right? Because denial doesn't help, right? So can you look your buddy on the left and right and tell them honesty? Thank you very much. And of course, when your buddy is back honest to you and they tell you everything, please keep it the next one. Private and confidential. Don't go out there and tell everyone you know I met this person and they tell me this secret. Okay? So we must have confidential. And I hope, most importantly, everyone participate all in. Because today, this session itself, I'm glad you're here because it's a life-changing experience session. Okay? Like I mentioned, it's not a sales concept. But with this, you will create many sales concepts by yourself. You will be able to create a lot of steps and processes for you to enjoy success. And most importantly, can we all be playful? And I need everyone to play full out. So can everyone repeat after me? Play full out. Play full out. Awesome. Right, so if you're ready, right? If you're ready, let's go. So when you're ready, please say yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's begin. So I have a very interesting exercise for each and every one of you. So let me give the instruction first. Okay, so there's 4 steps into this. Okay, and there's reasons why I link all this up together. So when you hear this music, when you hear this music, it's okay. When you hear this music, okay, it will last for about 8 to 10 seconds. Alright, 8 to 10 seconds. Okay, see the music. What I need everyone to do is that later we will stand up and we will jump into 31st December 2024. This is a test to help each and everyone clarify our goals, right? So we'll jump into 31st December 2024 and we need to imagine each and every one of us coming into this room, not for this session, each and every one of us in this room to celebrate our completion for 2024. And that moment, you need to imagine that you are living that dream, living that goal already. Visualize that. You need to experience how you feel. What will your voice be? Whether you are screaming, clapping, jumping, and what is the stance like? Alright? So can everyone stand up please? Right, short exercise. Only 10 seconds. Okay, so remember step 1, 2, 3, 4, and take the clock your goal. You cannot do it fully sometimes because this is the first attempt, but let's begin. Music please. Hey, come on! Right now, everyone scream! Okay, music please. Okay, thank you. Can I give yourself a round of applause and have a seat? How many of you guys can see your goal? I bet not many. Not many. Some individuals can feel it, but as we go through this process, you will realize you can start to visualize and see your goal, yourself immersing in it. Remember to feel that moment. Okay, so clarity is important. Whether it's management, leadership, or FSE, right? Whether you're MDRT, already a COT, or multiple consecutive TOT, we always talk about clarity, right? And even if you achieve great heights, sometimes we feel lost because we don't realize that we don't sit down and take a step back and realize that we lost a little bit of clarity. So with this, I'm going to show you my class photo. This is my class photo and my eye candy is here. Can anyone identify my eye candy? Obviously, you can slice into half is male, half is female. But what clarity is that just now when I'm doing that exercise itself, I bet each and every one of us did our goals planning in early 2024. But just now when we jumped into 31st December, at that moment, we were thinking what to visualize. What is my achievement? How clear is clear? This is clear. Jokes aside, this is my form teacher. And my wife is not inside, but my wife is in front row. Right? Right? So this is my eye candy. And what I mean by this is exact precision. If you can visualize and see your goal every single moment, right? You're halfway there. Right? And how do you want to check it with yourself? Right? There are many ways on how you want to do it. So help you better by asking a few questions, right? And give me some response. How many of you desire to achieve double your FYC of 2023? Make some noise. That's quite a lot. Double. Are you there already? Alright, we still have multiple months, huh? How many of you desire to achieve your FYC, your goal in half the time? Make some noise.
Yes.
Okay, not bad, right? And most importantly, consistency is key. Because in MDRT, what I learned first, I think you hear about some of my stories and all, but we hear about ethics and professionalism and whole person concept here. And to be continuous and have a consistent growth is important. How many of you desire to achieve a continuous and consistent growth? Make some noise! Alright. So, and of course, for team leaders or upcoming leaders, how many of you desire to have a team packed with MDRT? Make some noise! Same, leaders want everything. Right? So, that's not a surprise, right? And I'm going to give everyone some clarity today by doing this exercise. And later we'll piece everything together. What is the goal that makes you smile? Because in my journey, my few years in this industry, about 14 years, okay, in this industry, I've aimed for multiple goals, achieved certain goals, but at the end of the day, I couldn't smile after I achieved that goal. And that doesn't make too much sense. So it means I'm not clear in my journey, right? And it's extremely important for each and everyone, right, to have that purpose-led goal. So what is that goal that makes you smile? Write it down, all right? And why is it so? How badly do you actually want it, right? So can we have 5 seconds, 10 seconds, right? Talk to your buddy on your left, find yourself a buddy, and just tell them what will your goals be this year. Come, let's go. Some people are shy, but this 5-10 seconds is extremely precious. Follow me in this journey as I talk, alright? Because if you cannot articulate this out and it's still not clear, it will be a little bit challenging. Okay, exercise class. Okay, so why am I doing this? If I were to change my words and I say, okay, I'm not going to give everyone a clarity gift. But what if I say that anything that you said to your body just now, anything that you said to them just now will come true?
Is it going to cast a spell?
Let me repeat. What if I say whatever things that you said to your buddy just now will come true. So, yes, I love that. So this session, like I mentioned, play full on. If you like to scream, you just scream, it's fine. Right? Enjoy yourself. Okay? So let us just continue about trend. This is me and my sister when we were young, and I'm extremely naughty and useless. So what do I mean by naughty and useless? You look at my face. Yeah. So when I got angry, I would speak, I would just hit my head against the wall until someone come and take care of me. Right? I'm a bit useless, right? Just a bit cute. And all the way until age 15, 16, 17, it's just partying and chasing girls. My motivation to school is girlfriend. It's not about education. I can say this because my wife is here and yeah, she's the winner, right? So you see, I can get drunk and don't care about anything. I party like crazy. Every single week, I get a $200 Sing dollars. Sorry, by the way, I'm from Singapore. Yeah. So I get $200 per week when I was in secondary school. $800 a month, and I'm an inline skating coach. So I do skatings and all. Every month I have about $2,000 to spend. And at the end of the month, I will still reach out my hand to ask more money for my poor mother. This is called financial jail. I asked her to stand behind. By the way, my mom is 130 kg, but very healthy. So this is my mom, and I don't give a shit about how her life was. I was really a bad kid. I just enjoy my life, really partying like crazy. This is not the food I like. This is what my mom does. At 3:30 a.m., right, she will wake up to cook this thing called economic bee-hoon. How many of you have tried before? Make some noise. Right? Unhealthy. Okay? 3:30. After that, when she prepared 3:30, she completed all the dish, the chicken wings and all. She'll move to an industry to sell this thing called the prawn noodle, my favorite. She'll work all the way until the afternoon, the lunch crowd is gone. 3 o'clock, she'll start washing all the dishes, and then she'll go back to a small rental bed to do facial for people. And she'll end her day at 9, 10 o'clock. 9 to 10 o'clock. And next day, she'll wake up at 3:30 again. Then this son stretch her hand and take money again. So and this life continues. And really, she didn't complain to me at all until I grew up, and she told me every day 3:30 she would cry. Right? Because she doesn't know what to do, she doesn't want to do. And when I look back, 20 years ago, she's still a young lady as well. Right? So it's really until national service, until army, then I realized that I got this thing on my shoulder, and I said, okay, I will make sure that I take care of myself, I take care of the family. And it's really until after national service, then I said that no, it's time for a stop. And the time, no, sorry, my parents were separated, right? And I was living with my dad, but my mom was funding me. So my house, like government housing, was being recalled back. So in Singapore, there's this government housing called HDB. Even if bankrupt, they will still have the money with, have the house with you. But for my case, they took back because my dad didn't pay for 5 years. Yeah, and I was devastated. That was immediately after national service, and I don't know what. It was a divine intervention. It was a divine intervention that suddenly told me I gotta not only take care of myself, I gotta take care of everyone. And that was a thought. And that was when I met my boss, Italy. Right? These are like Lao Tzu, you know Lao Tzu, Chinese philosopher. Right? So this, and I remember when I met my boss, sometimes in adversity, it's God's gift. Right? And without all this realization, I won't grow. And it's really, because of this, I remember every day I'm going to meet my boss at 9 a.m. I'm very lucky, I was a director's direct one-to-one training every day. So the first session, I couldn't even afford a 90 cents coffee. Every single day, I wait for it because what do you want? Then the money on the table, then I'll take and I'll go and buy. Every single day. Right? And I remember he So anyone want to make a guess what's my first activity every single morning? Come shout out, anyone?
Going and meeting the boss.
Copy. Right. My first activity every single day was to watch one MDRT video. And in MDRT video, I can remember Tony Gordon. Really amazing video. I can watch until I read the whole thing. Not a very smart guy, but when you watch enough, you get inspired enough. And that was what happened every day, like 10 o'clock to 11:30, it's video time, right? And like each and every one of us, right, MDRTs in this room, you guys are leads. I try my very best, everything I could, just to achieve MDRTs, to not only pay for debts, right, but to make sure that I not only to support myself for education, that time I was still a student, but also to pay my parents' debts as well, right? But the living condition was very bad. You remember, I got no house, right? So I had to write to the government to get a house. But how many of you guys here afraid of ghosts? Make some noise. Bluff. Ghosts? Because I got to live in this apartment like this. It's a rental apartment, and I stay with a lot of different type of people, and there are even druggies out there. But what's most amazing about this building at Taman Jurong, Singapore, is that you look at the sign, this building in the top, it looks like a coffin. And this is a very haunted building. And this building has many people committing suicide. You look at the sign. Though I was living at level 20, although it's a one-room flat with my dad, it's not bad. But I had to go to level 21 and walk down the stairs. And so coincidentally, that hallway is there's a place that people, a hotspot, we call it a hotspot. Right? People like to run. But why am I showing this? Because if you're focused enough and you work your ass off every single day, the purpose is so clear. I don't even remember being worrying that there's a ghost or what. But in fact, I even imagine that it gave me a lot of energy to push on. And in the year 2013, I finally achieved my first MDRT.
Wow.
When I was 22 years old, 22 years old. So I remember no money, right? So even MDRT, I had to pay for all the school fees, my rental, my parents' loan and all. And in 2013, I bought my ticket to Philadelphia. Dubai was the place I transited. I didn't go out, I was sleeping in a restaurant. Yeah, not spending too much money. I remember I wanted one coffee and coffee freaking expensive, right? And I remember myself just running out to buy a lunchbox, sitting outside, not missing any class, because I want to learn. I'm very hungry, and that's me. Yeah. So I told myself that let's continue, let's build a team, things can be stronger. And in age 24, 25, I became the first youngest manager, right, in Singapore. Yeah. Thank you very much. But what was the example that I shared? I was happy for 2 weeks. We celebrated for 2 weeks. But after that, I got very sad. Because out of so many brothers and sisters here, comrades, a lot of them, 3 of them is a producer. The rest is a cheerleader. Which means that I failed as a leader. We can celebrate success, we celebrate wins, but at the end of the day, my guys are not making money, only that few. Which I'm extremely sad, and I told myself that now I know what I need to do. I want to achieve greater success. I want my guys to achieve greater success. I need to build a team of highly qualified MDRTs. So along the way, we started growing 30, 40, 50, 60s, and 10 years later, right, this is what we have, right, a team full of MDRTs.
Wow.
Consistently, and I'm extremely proud of them. But life is like this, ups and down, and you realize that is this what you really want again, right? And this is what I've been throwing my heart and soul in to make sure that everyone has a solid income. So with these, we have a We have an MV, unfortunately, it's in Chinese, but look at the video, look at the script. It's all sung by our MDRTs the year before, right? And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and it's all about courage, it's all about teamwork, it's all about how we live, each and everyone, we live for one, each and every one of us, and we achieve MDRT together, right? Video, please. Thank you.
COD.
Thank you very much. I hope you guys got it. Apologize in Mandarin, but this is an MP about teamwork. Without you, I won't be around. And sometimes when I lose some energy, I sit by my balcony, drinking, watch this video tomorrow, got energy to work again, right? And every single day goes on. So we need to find our energy, and I hope this session, everyone could really understand get that clarity of that goal, right? So can everyone stand up, please? Remember the exercise, pause that, right? Think about your goal right now. This moment is the moment that we are here to celebrate that success. Whatever you want will be a gift. We will jump into 31st December 2024 achieving your goals. You want to scream, you scream. You want to high five, you high five. Right? But remember the state. Right? So 3, 2, 1, can I have the music? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Right. Feel it. Right. Achieve the goal. This is yours. Right? You deserve it. Okay? Imagine, feel the state. It will be yours. Don't get involved. It belongs to you. Right? Make some noise! Exercise time! Alright, we are here to celebrate success. And we need to envision ourselves for the success. Let me move on to the next. And more than often, we talk about internal misalignment. We often talk to ourselves every single day without knowing. Without us even knowing. Right? So sometimes we talk about affirmation, positive self-talk and stuff like that. But let me explain further. The force that drives you can be misinterpreted as the force that deters you. Let me explain a little bit further. The door is out there, and imagine later once you walk out the room, there's this guy, wise man, long white beard, although I haven't seen one. He walked out this room, and this wise man, he looked at you and he said that, this year, I will help you to achieve 10x top of the table. You will deserve this goal. This will be yours. Can I help you? Right? How many of us will really think everything on the left and say that let's start? Right? And say that it will be fun this year. It will be the experience of my lifetime. I met a wise person like this, and he will help me to become successful. But more than often, the second thought that we have will be, I may not be ready. I'm not even a top of the table. How am I going to achieve my 10 times top of the table and all? Right? It will be so painful. I'm gonna wake up at 5. I'm sure you will ask me to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day and run up a mountain every single day. I'm gonna read the books that I don't like. Right? And many people will start thinking about sacrifice. What about my October, November, December holiday? Is it a pain or something that's drawn you forward? So, if you meet a wise man like this out there, you must know that this same force that pulls you forward might be the same force that draws you backward as well. And this is the danger, right? So, let me explain. I have this buddy. Just now I was talking about national service. So I have this buddy A and buddy M. Buddy A is a scholar. He's a top in the platoon. He's a top in the army, and he always achieves top. So he has all the prerequisites to achieve great success. Everyone envisioned that. And I have this buddy and he don't give a shit, but he gets tasks done. Whatever comes, he actually complains a bit and he does things to his very best. He's not a scholar, he's a dropout. Now all of us is in the same camp. Fast forward 10 years. This buddy M is the director of an MNCs, leading a huge team. Why? Because whatever comes his way, he takes it with pleasure and he tells himself everything on the left. Let's start. Right? Nothing to complain, he will just do and learn. And he, although not very clear on what he wants, he can be better, right? But he actually achieved great success because he compounded years of experience, while my poor buddy A is still thinking which is the best choice. And this is the truth. Because in school, there's nothing for you to choose. I just need to get an A score, right? In school, I just need to get this subject number 1. In army, I just need to do well. But when in life, or even in one career, we got so many decisions to make. Am I right? So, with this, I hope you guys understand. And with this conversation with self every single day, so practice, like take a photo right now, the slides is inside. If you can do this every single day, you will be amazing. Come, repeat after me, trend. Sorry, it's not my name, your name. Right? Repeat after me, trend. Right? Today, I claim the gift of success.
That was very good to say.
Come playful out. This will be the best journey of my life.
In my life.
It's gonna be fun.
It's really fun.
I deserve it.
I deserve it.
I claim it.
I live it.
Let me give yourself a round of applause, really. If you can do this every single day, I don't care whether you are financial industry at all. Like, there's a lot of business owners that likes to hang out with me, and we talk about all this. We talk about life. We talk about philosophy. And this is how I get my time, by the way, if you know me, right? This is so empowering. This is so important. You can script your own mantra, but most people script it and they don't do it every single day. I do it every single day, right? And you realize for the year of exponential growth, right? My team knows this year we are on track, 100% growth, right? And every single day we are doing something like that, right? And so do remember, and if you can do a conversation with yourself every single day, you are one step above most of the people out there, right? But you guys is already one step ahead of many people because you guys are MDRTs, COTs, and TOTs already. Right? So there's a lot more mountains to climb. Mental state. Okay? So I was sharing in this, I was in Malaysia doing a sharing, and it was about a big group, 6,000 people. And there's this young man who came up to me and he asked, can you help me? I said, what's that? Help, you look okay. Right? And he mentioned that the same concept, right? There's this client that I met, and I'm trying to close him with this concept and sharing, but I just couldn't close. But what's most challenging is that after a few months, one of his colleagues came over and told him that I managed to close the client with the same concept. Yeah, I said, it's okay, man. Right? It's fine. But he told me that he's the one that's in charge of the agency training. He was the one who taught his colleague how to sell. Same concept, same client, different outcome. What is there to do with, what else is that challenge at all? Then we realized states. So I got him right with their acknowledgement, right? He wanted help as well. We sat down, we ran through the presentation, and we realized that there's different types of states that's running through the mind even when you're doing the same presentation. Many of us don't realize this is the art part before I jump into formula, right? There are sad states, angry state, happy state, worrying state, confident state, and unfortunately this guy is presenting in a very worrying state. I don't know why. How do you actually do it? How do you actually turn it around, right? Which is some of the exercise, not some, the exercise that we did just now. First, you need to shift your physiological state and you bring yourself towards the goal that you want, and you do certain success celebration like what I did with you guys just now. Some people can say that they are crazy, but when you're successful, people will say that this is the right way. I remember myself many years ago from that coffin building. Every single day I ran to this place called Jurong Lake, and there's this small area where I sit down and I'll shout. I shout very loud, I'll shout, Huana! In Chinese, not Chinese, in Hokkien, this is called fortune, because I was in deep challenge and pain that time. And I needed myself for the energy. I did that every single day to change my state. So that young individual, after realizing the state, start practicing, and he realized because he's a trainer for his agency, he did so much better than his colleagues and peers. Alright? So this is something that's extremely important. And when you caught your team and your people, your guys, or your colleagues having not at the peak state, not living at the peak state, then you need to pull them out and teach them what we did just now, that celebration. Right? Can everyone repeat after me? To stay and live in the peak state.
To stay and live in the peak.
Thank you very much. Okay, and now with this, we're going into the golden relationship formula. Like I mentioned, we talk about framework. Some people say that our clarity I listened before, mental state I listened before, right? Wrong mindset, all the things that I mentioned just now, right? Are we practicing it? Are we linking all this into a flow? After I link all this into a flow, now this golden formula can be used for multiple things. I'll say 80% of the things. It involves people's success and operating system. Let me explain further. So first, you need to identify people right? That individual. So, for example, I will give you more examples in the next slide. But you need to identify the audience. Who is the individual that can help you expedite that success towards that goal? Number one. Number two, identify what matters to them. Right? What does success means to them? Number three, a system. How can we put a three-step process to close this gap? So this is one goal, right? And you can just use this framework to do a planning. Very simple. Trust me on that. And I'll give you an example, whether it's MDRT to COT, COT to TOT, and all, as long as it's your goal, right? Example. Oh, okay, right now I'm an MDRT, I'm going to COT. The person that will help me is a mass affluent family, for example. And if this mass affluent family can say yes to me, okay, so I identify them. What does success means to them? Many people do not know. By the way, this is my target market when I was jumping as well, right? So many people do not understand that mass affluent could not jump to the next level because of an environmental challenge. Compared to the high level, because you're sandwiched in the income level whereby you do not get subsidy. And a lot of times in life, you realize that this middle income family, or I would say mass affluent, right? They want better stuff for their family, they want better things for their children, and the child care, the education that they send their children for is same as the high net worth. There is no like childcare that costs $50,000 a month. The highest one costs like $6,000 a month, which is the same, right? So many of them actually got stuck because the expenses couldn't match, right? It's the environmental challenge, and they realize that it's so challenging. Some of the peers is saving much more than them, although making much lesser than them. Next one, system. So we have this problem statement that I just now mentioned. After sharing with them this logical, this is not your fault. It's the environmental issue. It's the life issue, right? And people fall into this trap. So this is statement one. After they understand, we go into the root of the problem. That's process two. And thereafter, what can I do in my step-by-step process to help you achieve? So this simple planning framework, people, success, and system, you can apply to multiple things out there, right? If you are leading a team, and if you want a team of big, consistent, qualified MDRTs, first, for example, you identify and meet, example for this case, new advisors, I will meet career switches. What does success mean to them? Income growth by 50%, for example. So if this is what it means by success to them, then we will build a framework on the system side. How can I help them acquire 50 clients? Don't be overcomplicated by other things. Just ask yourself this few simple questions. How can I acquire 50 clients for them? How can I help them close 50 clients? Next one, how can I build a system and process that brings them 150 leads per quarter? Simple. Next one, how can I upskill them? Whether it's MDRT, whether it's your company, or whether it's your coaching, upskill them to a closing ratio of 50%. Sometimes we overthink too much. Once you have this planning formula, then we expand it out. Once you expand it out, you'll realize that you are moving in so fast, right? Whether it's this applies to many goals out there, right? So if you are still with me, say yes. Yes. It's getting less sleep, so I'm gonna check back a bit, right? Because artsy part, a bit more dancing. This one is systems and process and stuff like that. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying so far, right? And pacing, super important. Last time. Okay, most importantly, pacing progress. Speed. Everyone repeat after me. Speed to action.
To action.
Power to continue. Ability to complete.
Ability to complete.
Where do I die? Where do you die? Right? Some people don't start. Some people cannot continue. Some people have this challenge to complete. And you work, right? You got passion? No problem. You got excitement? No problem. You got courage? You will start. Or maybe you're stupid, you also start. Right? Never think. Right? But what to continue? Discipline, accountability, humility. Ability to complete, perseverance. Right? So I always like to talk about power to continue, because to start is not difficult for some, but congratulations each and every one of us. We are in the right industry. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yes.
Right. So to start is not too difficult, but to set a right goal for yourself. If you're a TOT standard, then you aim for COT, that's a bit funny, right? If you're a top of the table standard and you aim for MDRT, that's very funny as well, right? And if you have great leadership and you have the potential to help your team grow bigger, and you say that I want to take on responsibility, that's a bit funny as well, right? So I always look at this to continue. You know, sometimes when individuals sit in this room in lectures and all, you know why individuals sit like this? Because once they achieve their first success, the eye becomes here already. If you know what I mean. The eye goes here, the eye doesn't stay here anymore. In Chinese, in Singapore, we call it hao lin. Hao lin is what? Right. So like the thing is that, you know, sometimes we lose humility. That we really need to make sure that, you know, forward is here, it's not here. And once we get that out of the way, it's challenging. It's important for each and every one of us to really know that the power to continue lies with humility, discipline, and accountability. And to complete, we really need to understand this thing called momentum. Going down spiral dive is very fast one. Dive is very fast. Once like you don't need much effort, right? You just need Instagram scrolling, you'll die already very fast. Right? You just go down and down without you realizing, because that's this thing called gravity. But going upwards, you have resistance. So you need this thing called momentum. And can everyone repeat after me? Most important, speed to action.
Speed to action.
Time to recover.
Time to recover.
And the ability to refine.
Ability to refine.
So write down this down, right? Speed to action. Of course, once you start, you don't stop, right? You need to have a high inertia. Then thereafter, once you hit a roadblock, difficulties, challenges, failures, it's God's gift to tell you that you are here for the next level. It's fine. And once you achieve your first MDRT, your first success, don't grow your eye here. You need to continue. Because some people, you know, they grow your eye here for 3 years, then you get plateaued for 3 years. And I tell my boss, Lao Zu, he's an extremely wise guy. So I remember at a conference, he was speaking to one of my friends, one of my colleagues, and he was saying, hey, do you know what does a lifetime MDRT mean? Sorry if I offend anyone here, at least for growth and learning and sharing. Right? I'm not saying my boss saying, right? He says, do you know what does a lifetime MDRT means? Then everyone beside us will say, lifetime MDRT means extremely solid, extremely good. But he turned around and he said, lifetime MDRT means you're in a plateau.
Lifetime.
Then I drop. Because I'm not even a lifetime MDRT. He said that if you're not growing, you're dying. Right? And no, I say what happened again. Okay. Yeah, so most importantly, he said that you need this time to recover and continue growing year on year. And finally, you don't repeat doing the same thing, expecting for different results, right? We need to refine, learn from the individual. Remember the golden framework that we had just now? Right. So let me combine all this together. Clarity, simple yet profound. Get inspired. Oh, by the way, I share my story. It's hoping you guys get inspired. But don't only get inspired, but get inspired by everyone out there. You know, some people, when they go to toilet, right, the guys, girls, you guys don't know. When we go to toilet, we need to pee, and the tag so long under the floor, the guy need to do this. Right? This tag so long, if you don't go to the toilet, right? They will catch you right. So, get inspired. Internal conversation, the exercise, a peak state, have your own dance, have your own mantra, have this exciting moment, have this feeling, right? That state. Remember the golden relationship formula. Every time when you're not clear, put in your goal, put in that golden relationship formula and ask yourself, am I doing the high priority things? And finally, pacing momentum, going downwards is fast because there's gravity. But going upwards requires 3 different things I mentioned just now, right? So with this, right, can everyone, for this final time, stand up together with me? Right, stand up together with me, and we'll stand up. Remember, think about the goal that you want for yourself. Visualize it, and close your eyes. You can scream, and in 3, 2, 1, music! Come on! December 2024. This is a celebration of your growth. This is not a dream. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. With you guys, a successful Thank you. Let me hand over to Mabel.
Thank you, Trent, for the sharing. Can we give him another round of applause? It was good, the mental state, your body story, your eye candy, the golden berries of your heart. Okay, I think moving on, I'd like to open the floor for any questions. There's white and the owls, so do limit yourself to one question. And to introduce yourself and where you are from. Right, so Trent will take the Q&A right now.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Giờ là hỏi là thương lắm nó lại nhau cho em bỏ tính em hơi đuối.
How to make this to get both, like to complete the COT or TOT and have a team full of MDRT? Like, I'm confused how to manage the time. Because if I want to grow myself, I won't have to grow my team. You have any advice, actually?
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Let me repeat. Is it you are growing a team and it's hard to balance out your own personal production and time for growing the team, right? Yeah. So if you realize I joined the industry more than a decade and I'm not a lifetime, and that's my fault because we can do both at the same time, right? First and foremost, just now the first golden formula I had was what I realized when I was in the later part. To increase your case size. So right now, I still do my COT, I'm not a TOT yet, right? I still do my cut of the table, right? I do like say 20, 30 cases and all through helping mass affluent family. And like I mentioned, I like to speak to business owners because of philosophies and all. So we need to grow our client base. We need to reach out to a new client base through, of course, strategic planning. Use that golden formula. How you want to upscale yourself. You cannot serve 1,000 clients anymore. You get assistant. You up your size of your client base, right? And thereafter, focus on the team, right? But of course, during that moment of transition, you may succeed on the first year. But sometimes, unfortunately, like me, I took a few years, I didn't achieve my MDRT, but that's my fault. In the next few years, right? But when I look back, I spent enough time on my family, my team, right? Which is my family as well. And people achieve their success. And of course, you cannot neglect the training system, the process. Yeah, so I do build a lot of system processes, all this in my that few years where I'm slowly transiting on my sales side. Yeah, so not asking anyone to give up anything, you can grow both at the same time. So you apply both golden formula on team and personal, and you realize you see results very, very soon. Did I answer your question? Okay, thank you very much. Anyone with more questions, you can check in with me. We've got a few minutes left.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, friend. I'm Singapore. Two questions. The first one, if my agency cannot sing, what should I do? Okay, that's a funny one. Okay, that's a joke. That's a joke. But that was the first thought that came to my mind when we saw how amazing you guys can sing. But really, the question is, how do you constantly motivate your team members, because we know as a team leader, sometimes they can get dejected at times. Sometimes they feel that they have met a lot of rejections, and the last thing we want, we see them, going spiral downwards. What do you do to make sure that they're constantly on track, and year on year you build a bigger and bigger MDRT agency? Thank you.
Thank you. First and foremost, right, we also don't sing that well. There's this thing called sound engineer.
Motivation.
Helping, right. Next one, which is, I do face that challenge as well. At times we are out now and all. Most importantly, I feel that number one is that we need to understand each and every one of them. Like for him, we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So if their pocket is empty and they do not have safety, they do not have companionship, camaraderie. So that different level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if that is not provided, I think that will be challenging. So we focus on building that foundation level, number one. Number two is that we hope we have friends all around. The team is fun, but we need to make sure that it's an environment that everyone strives for success. So some people say heartless, then after me, then I cry also. But the thing is that we try our very best, but sometimes cannot. This cannot, right? So I need to make sure that the entire environment is more uplifted and all. Right? So these are not simple two things that we do, but similarly, when we are growing the team, we still face challenges. The challenge never stops, right? The challenge never stops. And I also did majorly recall and go back home and really think about how to bring the team to the next level. But at least for now, this is the fundamental two things that we continuously focus on. Yeah.
Thank you, friends.
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Nhiều câu hỏi.
Hi everyone, I'm Joanna. Thank you, Chan, for the sharing. So I'm from the Philippines. You mentioned the system that you implement to create an MDRT agency. Can you cite an example of a specific system you used to make it happen?
Okay, so for our organization, we focus a lot on client acquisition through warm. So what do? We do events and appreciation and all. But even before that, focus on just not only on the soft part, the culture and all. We focus on systems, tracking systems, data, right? So we do have our own applications and all that we build. We want to make sure that this year you're successful. You know what to repeat or what to learn, right? So the scariest part is first time attendee, second year, I don't know what clients. I don't know what to do. So we need to have data. So the leaders can look at the data and advise them that, this year, focus not on more clients, focus on your quality, or focus on whichever. So we need to have specifications. So that is the back end, the data part, right? But at the same time, we need to continuously help them do one thing, retain their client, right? To acquire, attract new client, and through referral. So we do a lot of events. We even do pet events, right? Pet events is a very trendy thing, right? So my pet event in charge is here as well, right? So every time when we have a pet event, some people bring their dogs, cats, birds, some people bring hamster, right? And it's really very fun. So what effect does this create? Right? You can do any event. Some people do mahjong competition, right? Number one, first thing is that you call your client and the client tell you that they're busy. It's fine, you contact them. You want them to put you at the top of mind. Number two, right? Even when they come, of course they really enjoy and they know that your career is like this. This is your fun colleagues. This is what you do apart from insurance. Multiple things. Yes, we do our financial planning talks, our estate and everything, but we do a lot more lifestyle, right? Yeah. So that is a bit of system and process is a lot. Yeah. So we have like 3 applications to really track data and help client acquisition and stuff like that. Yeah. So hope that answers your question. Thank you.
One more last questions. Time is running out.
One more last
Hello,
question.
okay, my name is Dave. I'm from Singapore. I like the energy. Thank you for sharing today.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, my question is, I remember just now you mentioned about people, right? So, for example, if you are recruiting a big career switch, and then I think there's one circle below on the bottom right that says about having 150 leads for the person. So I think my question is, how do we actually generate that for the new person because they always have prospecting issue. And then the other part of my question would be, is there something you do on a weekly basis to keep your team consistent at the peak state? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. So if I think everyone, the first one, which is for example, mid-career switches, everyone wants to generate new leads. Even if I generate, so now my new advisors, we have like over the years, right? In 1 year, they probably get like 500, 1,000 leads and all. But the thing is that this will be the same. Every juncture, right? Everyone will say that they got not enough leads on, right? So it's standard. So we as leaders, we need to go out there and test and hunt and fail. I truly test and hunt and failed, and I invested a lot of wrong money as well, right? We will definitely need to find both lead gen from cold and warm, both sides, and eventually transit from cold into warm, because that is not not sustainable, right? I mean, when we talk about cost, having zero cost is the best. So the idea, so maybe when we begin, we tell them like, okay, everyone set an expectation of entrepreneurship role, that we need to invest a little bit in ourselves, right? And with that, right, of course, we want to create an investment fund, right? That investment into things that you are expert in to do, right? For me, I don't do a show, I don't do calling, cold calls. We only do other things, for example, online lead generation, partnership, business collaboration, and we try to go into business like this. But sometimes even when you go for lunch talk, you also need to spend a lunch talk money, right, to sponsor. So sometimes it's things like this you need to try. But no projects will mature immediately. My project that matures the fastest is 6 months. So that 6 months we need to set expectations, ask everyone not to complain, because if not, everyone will say that this project is lousy, then it cannot take off. So that was a challenge as well, right? So week-to-week basis, what do we actually do? So right now, I have my next directors. One is here, Kip is here, right? He's helping us take over a lot of operations and all. But previously, what do we do is that, sometimes inspiration is very important. And as the leading director that comes in every single Monday, we don't need every single day. We advise on book reading in our statistics systems. We want to ensure that people read, exercise, see videos, and we give points to that as well. Right? That's one thing. But people still can come in depressed on a Monday. We know that, right? People can come in depressed on a Monday. But sometimes it's the role of the leader to hype up yourself, right? To read some inspirational things, to really empower them. And I see that is the point of the leader. Because if we don't see that future, we cannot see that excitement, it's very hard for our next generation to see it. Yeah, so I always get myself crazy a bit. We need to find our power plant, right, rather than soccer. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, unfortunately, we have no more time for any more questions, but you can always connect with Trent at his Instagram @TrentOn. Right, so this will conclude the session. Thank you for attending. Please enjoy the rest of the